Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. And as you know, we are dealing with the chapter How Do Organisms Reproduce from NCERT book class 10. And in previous video we discussed about the concept of reproduction, a sexual mode of reproduction with examples, sexual reproduction in flowering plants. And today we will be discussing human reproduction. Okay, and basically this topic involves the male reproductive system and female reproductive system. And in this topics we are going to discuss about the various organs involved in the reproductive system of both male and females and their functions. Okay, so from today's video you should be able to draw, label and identify different parts of human reproductive system, and also explain the functions of its part of which its part involved in human reproductive system. Okay, which involves male reproductive system and female reproductive system. Okay, so let's start the lesson. So as we know that human beings undergo sexual mode of reproduction. So there is no asexual mode of reproduction in human beings. So human beings can only go one mode of reproduction, that is sexual mode of reproduction. So what happens in this process? So in this process, you know that two parents are involved. Okay, two parents, male parent and female parent is involved. Okay, and there is the production of gametes. Okay, the production of gametes, male produces male gametes and female produces female gametes. Okay, and after the fusion of the gametes, offsprings are formed, and offsprings are produced by the fusion of gametes, those sex cells. Okay, and the male gamete, that is sperm, and female gamete, ovum, when they fuse together, then zygote is formed and it develops into embryo, fetus. Likewise, offsprings are formed. Okay, so, since there is involvement of two parents, the newly formed individual will be different from parents, both genetically and physically. Okay, because there are two parents involved. If you compare this with asexual mode of reproduction, so in asexual mode of reproduction, only one parent is involved. So the offspring formed is genetically and physically similar to the parent, because whatever gene that parent contains will be transferred to the offspring. But in this case, in sexual mode of reproduction, there are two parents and there is fusion of gametes which comes from two different parents. That's why the offsprings are genetically and physically different from the parents. They are similar, they are half similar to male parent and half similar to female parent. Okay, so in human beings, both males and females have different reproductive system. So as you can see here, the diagram, so this is male reproductive system and female reproductive system, and there are two different types of reproductive system. Hence they are known to exhibit sexual dimorphism. Okay, sexual dimorphism means they have different types of organs involved in reproductive system reproduction, or their functions are also different. Okay, males have testes. So testes, okay, which are also called as testicles, the important the primary organ involved in testes. And in female, we have ovaries. Ovaries are the primary structure involved in the reproduction. That's why the human have sexual dimorphism. Okay, and now we will see the both types of reproductive system in detail. Okay, so first let's see the male reproductive system. Okay, so male reproductive system consists of many organs which are as follows. Okay, so this is the structure of male reproductive system. Okay, so first one is testes, and these are the primary sex organs. Okay, primary sex organ of human reproductive system. Why? Because it produces sperms, and sperms are the main product of reproductive system. Okay, so testes occur in pairs. So we have two testes uh, located within a pouch called as scrotum. Okay, so testes occur in pairs. It produces sperm, and it also produces male hormone called as testosterone. Okay, now if you remember, if you recall the topic endocrine system of human or hormonal system of human, there we discussed about the exocrine gland, endocrine gland and heterocrine gland, right? So exocrine gland are the gland which consist of ducts, okay, which store their secretions in the ducts. endocrine glands are ductless glands which secretes their secretions directly in the bloodstream, and heteroglands are the glands which functions as both the glands, okay, which act as exocrine gland as well as endocrine gland. So testis is one example of heterogland. Okay, as an exocrine gland, it produces sperms, and as an endocrine gland, it produces testosterone. Okay. Now another organ is scrotum, and that is a pouch-like structure where testes are located. Okay, so testes are located within the scrotum, and it is located basically outside the abdominal cavity, outside the body. Okay, why? Because to provide the optimum temperature for the formation of sperm. So this scrotum provides a temperature that is lower than body temperature. Okay, so for the formation of sperm we need a lower temperature than our body temperature. So that's why testes are located outside the body cavity and within the scrotum. Okay, so next structure is epididymis. So epididymis, here you can see the structure on top of testis. Okay, so these are highly coiled tubular structure, and the function of epididymis is to store the sperm temporarily. Okay, after the sperms are produced, it's stored in the epididymis, and from the epididymis other ducts are connected through which sperms are transferred. Okay, so next structure is vas deferens. Now vas deferens connect the it connects the epididymis, okay, and it goes to the other duct. It connects with other ducts, which is called as urethra. Okay, so the function of vas deferens is to carry the sperm from epididymis to urethra. Okay, and the urethra is also called as ejaculatory duct. Okay, and the next structure is penis. Okay, so penis is a muscular organ, which means made up of muscles, and it is also called as copulatory organ. So copulatory organ because it has the major role in copulation or mating, or it is also called as coitus. Okay, so the function of penis is to discharge sperm within the vagina. Okay, so another organ is urethra. Now urethra, as I discussed before also, it is connected with the vas deferens. So urethra, you can see this is urethra, okay, tubular structure. Okay, and one thing you have to remember that urethra is a common passage for both sperms and urine. Okay, sperms also come out from the urethra, and urine also come out from the urethra. Okay, so and the final structures of human male reproductive system is reproductive glands. Now reproductive glands are there are two reproductive glands. Okay, those are called as prostate gland. You can see here this is prostate gland, and out here seminal vesicles. So prostate gland and seminal vesicles together secretes or produce milky fluid. Okay, milky watery fluid which provides nutrition to sperm and also helps in sperm mobility. Sperm mobility means it helps the sperm to move. Okay, so these are the various organs involved in the male reproductive system. And one thing you have to remember, semen. Okay, so what is semen? So the milky fluids, okay, secreted by reproductive glands, and the sperm secreted by testes together makes semen. Okay, so now you can say the actual things that comes out from the male during copulation is semen, not sperm. Okay, sperm is just a cell. Okay, so it's just a cell having male genetic components, and that sperm together with the fluid, okay, milky fluid, makes semen. So semen is the actual substance that comes out from the male during copulation. Okay, now let me explain the function of male reproductive system once again briefly. Okay, so let's start with the testes. Now testes are the oval shaped organs which lie outside the abdominal cavity of a man. Okay, so testes are the primary reproductive organs in man. So the function of testes is to make the male sex cells or male gametes called sperms. Okay, and also to make the male sex hormone which is called as testosterone. Okay, So the testes of a man lie in a small muscular pouch called scrotum. So you can see here scrotum, okay, and this scrotum lies outside the abdominal cavity, okay. Now the uh, testes lie outside the abdominal cavity of the body, and the reason is for sperm formation, because sperm formation requires a lower temperature than the normal body temperature, right? Now the sperm formed in the testes come out and go into a coiled tube structure called as epididymis, right? The sperms get stored temporarily in epididymis. From epididymis, the sperms are carried by a long tube called vas deferens, which you can see here, okay. And this vas deferens is also called as sperm duct, and this joins with another tube called as urethra, okay. So after that, along the path of vas deferens, the glands called seminal vesicles and prostate glands, okay. Seminal vesicles and prostate glands, they also add their secretions to sperms, so that the sperms are now in a liquid. The liquid plus the sperms it contains is called semen, okay. The liquid along with the sperm is called as semen, and the secretion of seminal vesicles and prostate glands provide nutrition to the sperm and also make their further transport easier, okay. So now the urethra forms the common passage for sperm and urine. Urethra carries the sperms to an organ called penis, okay, which is also called as external genitalia, okay. And the penis passes the sperm from the man's body into vagina in the woman's body during mating or copulation for the purpose of reproduction. And one thing you have to note here is there is only one opening for the urine and sperms to pass out of the body, that is urethra, or the tip of the urethra is called as urethral opening or urethral meatus, okay. So this is about the male reproductive system. Now let's see female reproductive system, okay. So female reproductive system also consists of many organs. The first one is a pair of ovaries, okay. So like testes also occurs in pairs, so ovaries are also found in pairs, okay. So ovaries are the primary sex organs of female reproductive system, because it produces the female gametes or sex cells called as ovum or egg, okay. So these ovaries are located on each side of uterus. So this is uterus, okay. So ovaries are located on each side of the uterus, and the function of ovary, as I said, is to produce ovum and also to produce hormones called as estrogen and progesterone. So ovaries are also another example of heterogland, okay. It produces sperm as well, I mean ovum, as well as female hormones estrogen and progesterone, okay. Another structure is fallopian tube. So you can see here, this is fallopian tube, okay. It also exists in pairs, originating from uterus, extending up to its ovary. So this originating from uterus and extending to ovary, okay. There are two uh, fallopian tube, and this fallopian tube is also called as oviduct, okay. And this fallopian tube is the site for fertilization. So sperm also come in this area, and ovum also released, and it goes in this area only. So within the fallopian tube there is fertilization, there is fusion of sperm and ovum, okay. So next we have uterus. So this whole thing is uterus. So it's nearly pear shaped muscular structure, okay. And this is hollow inside, okay. Why? Because this is a place where fetus or baby is developed after fertilization, okay. So this is site for development of fetus or baby, and that is the reason why it is also called as mother's womb, okay. And next to uterus there is a small narrow opening called as cervix, okay. So cervix is also one of the female reproductive duct, okay. And this cervix opens to the external little broader duct, which is called as vagina, okay. And this vagina receives penis during coitus or copulation, and sperm gets discharged in vagina. Okay, and vagina acts as a birth canal. Okay, so this is all about the female reproductive system. Now let's see the structure of female reproductive system once again. Okay, so let's start with the ovary. So the ovary or ovaries are the oval shaped organs which are located inside the abdominal cavity of a woman. So if you compare the location of ovary with location of testis, now you know that testis lie outside the abdominal cavity, right? And the reason is for the formation of sperm. So for the formation of sperm, we need less temperature than our body temperature. Okay, that's why testis lie outside the abdominal cavity, but ovary lies within the abdominal cavity, which means for the production of ovum, we need body temperature. Okay, so it can be produced within the body temperature. So the primary function of the ovary is to produce uh, female sex organ, sex gamete or sex cell, which is called as ovum or egg. Okay, and it also produces uh, female hormone, estrogen and progesterone. Okay, so just above the ovaries are the tubes called as fallopian tubes or oviducts. Okay, so the ovum released by ovary goes to the oviducts, okay, through its funnel shaped opening. So this is funnel shaped opening, and the fertilization of egg by sperm takes place in the oviduct. So as I discussed before, this is a site for fertilization of ovum and sperm. The two oviducts connect to a big uh, bag-like organ which is called as uterus or mother's womb. Okay. So the growth and development of a fertilized ovum into a baby takes place in the uterus. Okay, the uterus is connected through a narrow opening called cervix to another tube called vagina. Okay, which opens to the outside of the body. So vagina receives the penis for putting sperm into the woman's body. Vagina is a tubular structure. Okay, and vagina is also called birth canal because it is through this passage that the baby is born after the completion of development inside the uterus of the mother. And the one thing you need to note here is in women, the opening for passing out urine and the vaginal opening are separate. Okay, so this is the vaginal opening, and the for passing opening for passing out urine is different, which is urethra. Okay, which we have already seen in excretory system. Okay, so now I hope you are clear with this two different structure, that is male reproductive system and female reproductive system. And now what you need to do is you need to practice these diagrams. Okay, so this is male reproductive system and female reproductive system. So you need to practice in this way. Okay, this is also handmade diagrams of these two structures. So your labeling should be done in this way. Okay, you have to make very straight line without any arrowhead, and line should be very straight. Okay, and it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, it should be just neat and clean. Okay, and I know some of you may struggle while making the diagrams like this. So for that I have pasted two links. Okay, you can go these links and you can learn how to make the diagram. So in through these links you can learn, because the person in this link in this video, he has shown how to draw this kind of structures in a very easy way. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to practice these diagrams, label it, and also write the functions of its part. Okay, thank you so much for watching this video, and in our next video we will be discussing about what happens after fertilization. So we can say the post fertilization events. Okay, what happens after fertilization, and also what happens when the egg is not fertilized by a sperm. Okay, so we'll meet in our next video.